Have you ever wondered what it's like to have absolute power and, well, basically unlimited money? In this explainer, we're going to take a peek into the alleged world of Kim Jong Un. We're talking claims of extreme paranoia and a lifestyle that is just unbelievably luxurious. So let's get right into it. The story really starts with this one description: a leader who is not just powerful, but extremely ruthless. Now, that's not just a title. It's a style of rule where reportedly personal whims are backed by the full, terrifying force of an entire nation. So, what does a day in the life of someone like that even look like? Our first section dives into this really strange combination of massive personal wealth and a reputation for holding on to power through what some say is absolute fear. To really get the mindset, you kind of have to look at the alleged actions. Sources point to the public execution of his very own uncle, the suspected assassination of his half-brother, and this deep-seated paranoia about biochemical attacks. These aren't just political chess moves. They paint a pretty chilling picture of a leader who will apparently stop at nothing to secure his position. So, how does that kind of paranoia show up in daily life? Well, let's talk about how this guy gets around. His methods of travel are described as a masterclass in both over-the-top luxury and, you guessed it, profound fear. So when he's on the ground, he reportedly cruises around in these armored Mercedes-Benz Maybachs. And these aren't just fancy cars. They're basically mobile fortresses that can cost upwards of $1 million each. But the truly wild part? The human element. He's got a team of bodyguards literally running alongside the car, forming this constant moving human shield. And we're not talking about just any security guards here. This jogging security detail is supposedly made up of elite, highly trained martial artists. Their one and only job is to create this intimidating, always there protective bubble around him. But what's really fascinating is the element of surprise. In public, this team isn't just standing around waiting. So, where do they even come from? How do they mobilize so incredibly fast? The coordination is just unbelievable. The second his car slows down, these guards just seem to materialize out of thin air, swarming the vehicle. It's this perfectly choreographed display of power, and it's meant to be just as confusing to potential threats as it is protective. And that paranoia just gets ramped up when he takes to the skies. He reportedly doesn't use one private jet. Oh no, he uses 2 identical planes for every single trip. The whole point is just pure deception, making it totally impossible for anyone to know which plane he's actually on. So what's inside these jets? Well, the main one is basically a flying command center for him and his generals. The second plane, though, this massive cargo jet, has a very, very specific job. It carries his armored Mercedes. Think about that. He has a whole plane just so his personal fortress on wheels is waiting for him wherever he lands. And then there's the train. For some trips, he uses this personal, heavily armored train. It's been described as a 21-car fortress on rails, all painted green with a completely bulletproof body and tinted windows. But here's the kicker. The secrecy is so tight that to this day, no one's really sure what kind of luxuries are hiding inside. Okay, so that's how he moves around. But what about his private life? What happens when he's not on the move? Let's take a look at the alleged indulgences his incredible wealth affords him, far, far away from the public eye. Let's just start with a number: $7 million. What in the world could that possibly be for? That, right there, is the estimated price tag for his private luxury yacht. And what makes this so wild is that it was apparently spotted in North Korean state media photos. It's like a blatant display of wealth, despite international sanctions that are specifically designed to stop these kinds of luxury goods from getting into the country. Okay, get ready for this next one. $30 million. And this isn't a one-time purchase, not even close. That is his estimated annual bill for imported liquor. Yeah, every single year. Sources claim he has a real taste for the fancy stuff, high-end whiskey and cognac, brought in from all over the world just for him. And to kind of put that spending into perspective, one source makes this just remarkable claim that he's been known to drink up to 2 full bottles of liquor in a single sitting. And when it's time to relax, he reportedly has his very own private island. And this is not some rustic little getaway. We're talking a massive pool, multi-million-dollar water slides, even a full-sized football pitch.
And get this, the entire island is supposedly maintained by a staff of just 50 people whose only job is to cater to him.
So after hearing all these claims of insane spending and deep paranoia, we're kind of left with one big question. What is the true cost of this kind of absolute power? And that really is the ultimate question, isn't it? The jogging bodyguards, the decoy jets, the private party island, they all paint a picture of a life with absolutely no limits. It really makes you wonder, is this level of paranoia and indulgence just what happens when you have absolute power? Or is it a unique choice made by one man? What do you think?